Yeah, we in the building. We in the building.
Sunski, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of Well Talk. We in the building, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's up, my brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, it's another day, bro. Blessed. Happy to be here. Another day, chopping it up with my brother about the market, about some money, you know?
Yeah. Going now, everybody love to hear that.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
ski,
man.
bro.
What's up, family? Welcome back to the Wealth Talk podcast. My name is Wolf, aka the Wolf. We got my brother over here, Credit God in the building.
Yes, sir, man. The one and only in the spot, man. Today we gonna get into a few good things, man. It's gonna be a good episode for y'all, man.
For sure, for sure. And for those of y'all that are just tuning in, Thinking Gen Wealth. If you have not tuned into this podcast, we are here to talk about financial literacy and how to put more money into your pockets, how to make sure that you are better prepared for the financial world, and also just making sure that you are in a better place when it comes to tomorrow.
That's a fact, bro. Honestly, that's the goal behind thinking Gen Wealth. And, the biggest thing that what we started this for, what makes us so passionate about it is really coming from, real life experiences. Mike and I, we done seen some things, we done gone through some things with friends and with loved ones, and we seen the alternative ways people have taken to make some money, and it
Mhm.
always leads to two things. So we decided we want to find another way, create another path for the people coming up under us to actually do this thing legally. You know what I'm saying? And learn the systems and get the money these hedge funds and these people that don't look like us are getting.
Bro, it's a fact. I mean, we got a action-packed episode for y'all today. First thing is first, though. I know some of the people that's been out there looking for some of those the social media posts coming out are wondering like, why is Thinking and Wealth rebranded? And I don't know if you want to get into it really quick, bro, but a lot of people have been asking about it, and a lot of people are waiting for us to drop again and see what we got prepared for them.
That's a fact, bro. I mean, the whole thing, and we all got our thoughts on it, though. But the biggest thing for me with us rebranding is we wanted to get back to our core.
Yeah,
We the big thing with Thinking Jet Wealth when we first started was continue this journey with us, follow this journey with us, because we're not exactly where we want to be yet. But the whole purpose of Thinking Jet Wealth is we're gonna do it with you. We're not gonna be there already. We're gonna do it with you and do it step by step.
right.
So as time went on and we learned new things, I started off heavily in credit, but I got into real estate more. I got into investing with Mike and learning more about the market. I feel like our content just got to a point where it was like it was niche if you knew something. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We were using a lot of big terms, a lot of different terminologies, talking about different stocks for weeks and all types of things. But we kind of forgot about the people who don't know how to open a brokerage account.
For sure, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Or may not. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was literally gonna go into that point too. Like, it goes back to the time when we first started it. And I told you, I was like, yo, I remember when I first started trading, there was plenty of people out there that I wanted to teach about it and to also show how to get a credit card and how to make sure that you're budgeting correctly. But not everybody wanted to do it. And the reason why we started Thinking Your Wealth is because now this information is out there. There isn't no excuses. You have access to it. It's free. You can tap in with us, you can learn with us, you can join the Discord. And that was the original reason why Thinking Your Wealth is here today.
That's a fact, bro. That was the original reason we wanted to be that bridge, that
Hmm.
kickoff to put that fire under you and to get the thing going. And I say the craziest thing that we've seen, like as far as progress, when you think about our platform, bro, is really our content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we started off with the Discord, we started off doing the skits on Instagram and TikTok. We was doing wild stuff. I was sniffing Crocs. I don't know if y'all remember that. I was sniffing Crocs on Instagram, trying to use different hooks. It was crazy, man.
For
And
sure.
it's interesting to see how far we've gotten with it. But now with this rebranding that we're doing, we're trying to make it a consistent. Just make it transparent so that everything looks similar, but you're getting the same value each post. You feel me?
Exactly. Exactly. So we want this to be as natural as possible, family. This is a community. So y'all tap in with us. Let us know what y'all want to hear or learn more about. Because, like I always say, I'm an employee of the people. For real,
Facts.
y'all. Like I do this because there's people back home that didn't have the access to what we know now. So, and we're still learning every day. So the more that we learn, the more that you'll know as well. Because every time we learn something, we bring it right back to y'all.
That's a fact. And honestly, bro, going on to that, I just asking you, I feel like that's kind of what makes us Think and Gen Wealth more than just a brand.
Yeah,
Like, we're not just saying do this and not doing it. Like, we're literally doing it. We have the proof to show you. I feel like that kind of makes Think and Gen Wealth more of a lifestyle rather than a brand. It's more of a put up before you shut up. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just showing people and not putting the footwork in.
exactly. Like we're literally telling y'all step by step exactly what we're doing, what we have going on in life. I mean, just to be transparent, we just turned our accounts from business accounts to personal accounts because we don't want it to be a business account. We don't want to look like we're coming across as just a regular business that's trying to give you some advertisement for anything and everything. No, we want this to be as authentic as possible. We are two human beings with regular lives that like to just make sure that you have the same exact information that we're also studying every single day. And that's what it's all about, family. Like, we're not trying to just go about it the way every other business is. We want this to be, just a regular. If you could DM me on Instagram, I want to literally reply back to you like, yo, how can I help? There's plenty of people that have done that in the past. They DM'd us, we set up a meeting, like, yo, what can we do to help? Like,
Mhm.
you're not going to see a whole bunch of businesses out there doing that stuff. So, we're not a brand, it's definitely a lifestyle, and we want it to stay that way.
That's a fact. Definitely. You're not Hollywood. Not yet, though.
Not yet, right?
No, I'm
Not
saying,
Hollywood.
listen, the money come. I don't know, Mac. I don't know, man. We can wait and see, man.
Hey, man, that's a fact. Just for right now, nah, I'm playing.
Right now, that's a fact.
Right now,
All right,
man. I don't know.
you
You might
got
have to
me
talk to
here.
my sister in a couple of years.
I swear you about to leave a voicemail, son. Follow up email.
Yo, it's crazy. I was at work, right, and I called somebody, and they had like the AI voicemail assistant. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh, like not the robots, like the old ones, but an actual assistant that talk to you.
Yeah, like they literally sound like a real person, but it's AI. Like they'll say I'm calling John. Hey, John isn't available to pick up the call, but can I ask who this is and what you're calling about? Or they'll say,
What?
"Hey, this is John's phone. Can I ask who this is and what you're calling about?" You'll tell them your name, what you're calling about, and then the line will keep ringing, so it'll go to John. It's crazy.
Bro, that's that agentic AI, bro.
Yeah,
That's so much job right there. That's like a secretary who's like, hey, like, who are you? What's your information? Then forward over. That's a job.
exactly. I was like, wow, this is getting out of control. Yeah, I was just like, sheesh. Everybody got something going on, man.
Everybody, man. Yeah. Especially everything in the market, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in the market. And one thing that we have been noticing specifically is a lot of jargon in the market that a lot of people may not understand. Specifically with big ones right now, because a lot of them came out this year so far that were hitters, and that's specifically IPOs. So,
IPOs, man.
facts, man. So, like, I guess in simple terms, I guess how would you best explain what an IPO is for the people who may not know and is new to the market?
For sure. So an IPO, if you're in the markets, that's just an initial public offering. That's what it stands for, right? Now, what this means is that, for example, Apple. It's a company. It's on the stock market. You can invest in Apple because they already had their initial public offering. That means that they went public on the markets. Now, before a company goes public, they're considered private. And in order to become public, you have to have an IPO, an initial public offering. So there's tons of companies out there, and some of them aren't public yet. So you can't invest into it on the stock market. You can invest into it as a private investor, but sometimes there's a little bit uh, more more hoops to go through when it comes to investing into those. So it's a little easier to invest into a company after the IPO. So we this is just a term that we wanted to bring up to y'all because there's been a lot of successful IPOs in the past and also within the last year. So if you see any getting ready to come out, if you have a Robinhood account and you see that an IPO is starting, it's something that you may want to look into. Or if you know anyone that may be investing into a private company, then you may also want to get into that as well because this is an opportunity to buy into a company while it's at its cheapest price ever before it goes public.
That's a fact, bro. That makes me think of for those who are in the market, that makes me think of Circle that recently IPO'd. I think it was about a month ago now. And
Yeah.
boy, the private investors could have got in for like what $35 a share.
Hmm.
That thing
Hmm.
ran up to like over 300, I think, or over 200 per share. The first public
Hmm.
offering. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's literally trading above 200 right now. And like bro said, you could have got in around $35 before the
Hmm.
IPO. So it's some powerful companies out there that hasn't even hit that stage yet, and it's pretty cool if you could get into it before then because now you're like an OG investor.
Facts, OG, and that's one thing with IPOs too. Is there's not a lot of when it comes to companies who do go IPO and they go public. The biggest thing that I see with these companies that are looking for is they want to capitalize off their hype, their
Yeah.
value, their talk. So with for example, with Circle was a stable coin. Right. I'm on
Mhm.
the right path there.
Yeah, it's a part of the stablecoin world. So USDC,
Yep.
it's stablecoins are associated with crypto family if you don't know that. So pretty much USDC is the US dollar coin. It's pretty much a crypto dollar that's pegged to the US dollar. So the USDC and the US dollar have the same exact price. It's just one of them gives you like a return for holding it, which is USDC.
Facts. And that's the big thing that Circle want to capitalize on. Crypto has been a buzzword for the past decade if we really get serious about it. And
Hmm.
these stable coins, these USDC specifically, they're giving out great returns. Like
They
we
are.
have clients ourselves that we work with, and we have them going into the USDC, and they're getting back 4% on their money. That's can't be a lot of 4. There's not a lot of high yield savings account that's giving back 4%.
No, it's not. It's really not. And when you can find that, it's a it's a diamond in the rough for real.
That's a fact. So like with companies with Circle, they had these good products that had a hype behind them. They had a lot of things moving for them, and they went IPO'd, and boom. To me, that's
Boom.
why companies go public in the first place because they're already profitable. They're proven. They've shown the market even before they went public that they can make money and be a successful business. Now they want to
Hmm.
take some of y'all money, make some more money with it.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing, family. And that's the whole point of it. People are people, companies, they have an IPO so that way they can raise more money to expand the company, to make bigger investments, to make sure that you also get a better return on the money that you initially invested into the company. And there's a lot of great IPOs out there. I mean, one that y'all probably all know about is Robinhood. Robinhood did their initial IPO during COVID, and a lot of people loved that play. It ran up. The thing is, it also dumped to like $6. And if you were a fly on the wall, were able to look into the future, that $6 was probably the most valuable $6 there was. Because right now,
Facts.
Robinhood is trading above $100. And this was not even a year ago. Robinhood was at $6. So it's really important to find value when it comes to a lot of these companies because if you can find great value and if you are able to, weather the storm and park some money somewhere and not have to worry about it, it's maybe, a great niche for you if you were an investor and trying to look for ways to invest without trying to be too difficult or finding a new strategy or always being right. Sometimes it's not always about being right. It's just about finding good value and how long can you hold that value for.
That's a fact. And that's one thing. That's a fact too, man. You can't really predict what any IPO is gonna do, but the slogan is own everything. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
own
If you can
everything.
have a slice of each piece of pie, take a piece. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Hmm.
One of the pieces could be Gordon Ramsay type of slice. You know what I'm saying? Might want to put that in the refrigerator for a bit. You feel me?
Yo, the Gordon Ramsay slice. That sounds amazing.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, that's a bar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
man. So there is some new IPOs out there though, right? That's coming out soon.
Yeah, facts. Well, not soon, because that's one thing with IPOs too. Like, they'll say they
Right.
come out soon, but then they come out next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Very
with
true.
IPOs, it's really when it happens, it happens. But yeah, there's some buzz ones, and one big one that's buzzing right now is Anduril.
Hmm.
Um, so for y'all who don't know, Anduril is a defense company. It's very similar to Palantir, but think Palantir on steroids. They is backing up a lot of military products with AI power now. So we're talking drones, sensors, surveillance tools, everything AI backed. And the big hype around Anduril is combining two prominent sectors right now. It's AI and defense. The U.S. is always
Hmm.
going to want defense, and we're always going to want AI now because that we're in that race now with all these other countries, including BRICS and all that.
Hmm.
So Andurel's a biz one. To provide some points for y'all, in 2024 they made about $1 billion in revenue, and they were worth about 14 billion last year. But now they're almost up to 30 billion after raising more money in June.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the one, so that's a big one, man. They're one of those companies. They haven't gone public yet, but when they do, it's gonna shake some things up. I mean, we seen it proof in the pudding with Palantir. Palantir skyrocketed this year.
It did. And it's crazy because it almost felt like the stock was dead for a while. Like it wasn't moving. And then out of nowhere, and money started coming in from, the government and just started running. And that's the thing about a lot of these defense companies. Like you don't want to sleep on them because at the end of the day, it's the government. They got all the money you can think of. It's like unlimited amount of money. They printing the money. So obviously they just spend whatever they want on it. And that's the thing. If you're in that defense realm and you got a company that's like a gem for real, it could really take off because there's a lot of defense contractors out there with big pockets that could spend whatever they need to spend in order to get the job done. Where they're looking to get the job done at.
That's a fact, bro. And that's what you said a gem right there. Honestly, looking into who has these contracts for the next 5 years. When it comes to
Hmm.
these defense plays, it's all public information. Y'all can chat GPT who has the most defense contracts in the U.S. government, and they'll tell you the
Hmm.
companies. So, do your own research on that. But God forbid, you do miss the play with Underworld when it does IPO. It could IPO when we 50. I don't know what's going to do it. They talk about next year, but I don't know, bro. So,
Right. True.
one
That's
thing you can
true.
always do is like look at the trickle down effect. Okay, Anduril just IPO, they're up to $1,000 a share. Okay, who's their main provider when it comes to the materials they need? You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm. We call that
Going down
downline
that
trading.
that's a fact, down the line trading. So if you miss anything, that's a good opportunity for you.
For sure. For sure. I mean, another good one. If you don't want to be in the defense sector, if you don't really know too much about it, another good play is Chime. So Chime still hasn't gone public yet, family. I know a lot of people that use Chime just as a bank. Some people don't even invest; they just
Facts.
use it as their bank account. And if you don't know what Chime is, it's pretty much like a tech bank, a fintech company. They have the app for it. If you want to look it up, you can use that as well. You can also invest on there. It's pretty cool. A lot of people use it, especially people that don't really have access to the traditional banks or they don't have the best credit scores or, the best financial setup. This is a really important company because their mission is to help people that doesn't have the best financial access to everything.
That's a fact, bro. And honestly, that's why I kind of love Chime and its IPO because when you look at the numbers of like how the country is going when it comes to how us as consumers are doing as far as debt and credit scores and this personal finances, we're kind of cooked. I ain't gonna lie. So there's a heavy, heavy, heavy want for things like Chime because not a lot of people can get a bank account with the Chase or Bank of America because they may be in some early alert system or check systems what we talk about down the line. So
Mm.
there's a want for it. I really like Chime, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like them as a company, man.
Yeah, I think that's a cool stock to own in your portfolio because it's not as expensive. And I don't know. I don't know if I did say that it didn't IPO yet. Pardon me. It did IPO. So it IPO June 12th, at $27 and it jumped up to $37. So it's still, a really good company to own. It didn't shoot up to the sky like the other one, like Circle, that it went from like $35 to over $200. So you still got some time to jump into their dollar cost average, but they raised a good amount of money and they just have access to a lot more people than a lot of other banks do, which could be a great opportunity for them.
Absolutely. And they make a lot of money too, man. They made a lot. They
Yeah,
made 1.6 billion in revenue last year, and they just turned profitable earlier this year. And that's a big catalyst that a lot of people should look out for. When a company just turns profitable, there could be an opportunity where a lot more investors come in. So I like them, man. I like them.
yeah, that's a bar, bro, because a lot of people do think, hey, this company is it's major, they're doing everything, and some companies don't even make a profit. So it's like, how, as an investor, are you going to get a return if the company isn't making a profit? Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of companies out there that's not profitable, and you still can make your money back just by investing to the company. But you want to make sure that you're buying value. It's hard to find value if a company isn't making any money. It's like, what are you buying? You know? So that's really important to look at.
That's a fact, bro. Shoot. One company that's not don't got a problem making money though. The last IPO, Stripe. Oh
Whew.
my god. So for y'all that don't
Mm,
know Stripe, y'all most people probably know Stripe. Stripe is probably one of the biggest payment processors besides the big dogs like Visa and MasterCard right now. They are still private. They help companies process over $1.4 trillion back in 2024.
mm. With a T?
So y'all with a T, bro. Capital.
Whew.
Crazy.
Sheesh. They teed up.
No. Tee it up. Word is bond, bro. They wildin', bro. Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, it's
In
wild. I mean,
2020.
Stripe is mean because when you think about when you buy stuff, when you go online, let's say I don't have my wallet and I just want to just pay for it a different way. You usually always see Stripe pop up. Or when you're trying to sign
Hmm?
into your bank account, you see Stripe always pop up to help you sign into your bank account from another different website. They're always involved in like most of the transactions that you see.
They are. And also, you know what they remind me of in the fintech world, bro?
What?
They remind me of Amazon.
Mm,
Cause
I can
they're
see
in
that.
everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Amazon is they don't own no products, they don't sell no products, but they are the warehouse of everything. Stripe is some way, somehow it could find a way in every business model. You see what I'm saying?
In every business model, which is major.
Crazy, bro.
Mm, that's a bar.
Yeah, man, but they making money, man. They made 5.1 billion in revenue. They were worth 95 billion in 2021. They dropped down a little bit in 2023, being worth 50 billion, but now in 2025 they're back up to being worth over 90 billion dollars.
Mm,
And sadly no IPO yet, but I don't know. Stripe gives me like SoFi vibes. Like they when they IPO, I think they're gonna be good.
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see this one taking off easily. This would be one that if it was the IPO, I would just buy it and hold it, see what happens, and if it was to pull back, I'm buying more. Just because, like you said, the business model, they're involved in literally every business you could think of that has some type of online presence.
Literally everything. Where you going? You can't get away from it. You can't. It's just like
No.
these buy now pay later things, like with damn, what's the Klarna and all that. It's everywhere, bro.
Yep. Yep. Klarna, QuadPay, all of those. Yeah, bro. Hit the nail on the head. That's gonna be a good one. So I definitely keeping my eye out on that one. We'll definitely be throwing a play in the Discord. We can get into it. And if you can get into a pre-IPO, you're probably even better off. So, and we'll do a video on that, how to get into pre-IPOs. That's a little bit advanced, and it's a lot of different things that you need to have or need to know about before you can do that. So we'd love to, do a video on that, so that way y'all could look into it if you want to.
Absolutely, man. There's always some gems out here with going IPOs, but Yeah, yo,
Oh,
those
for
are
sure.
top three. Those are top three for it, man. IPOs is fun. I ain't gonna lie, it's fun because there's a lot of that. Seeing the prices go up off rip when it opens is crazy. When I see Circle, I said, nah, this don't make sense, bro.
It is because a lot of the time it's hard for a company to find what a fair price is because it all goes based off historical analysis. So, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but in order for us to figure out if Apple's at a fair price, you have to look at like the um the moving averages, and the moving averages are all historical based. So the average price of where it's trading at is the only way you're able to figure out a price. If a company goes public, there isn't no historical analysis to look at. So it's all about what people are comfortable paying, and then over time you'll get to see like what's the average price of where a company will trade at. And it's pretty cool because sometimes you see it come out at $20, $10, and then 2 days later it'll be at 1,000. You like, dang, y'all willing to pay that much for it?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. That's one thing I do like about it too, bro.
Facts, bro. Ah,
Uh,
but yeah, man.
mhm.
Besides that, though, man, get y'all some gems, drop some stuff. But to wrap things up, bro, what do you think is like one key message we want folks to walk away with after this episode?
I mean, after this one, I would love for y'all to pretty much take a step back and simplify everything that you see. Because right now on social media, it's so easy to get caught up in, the sexy trade and what's cool and what's not cool and how to make $1,000, $10,000 today. That's the easiest way to get lost. And that's one thing I think we had to figure out. It's like, it's so easy to fall into the trap of getting rich overnight.
Mhm.
It's not a thing, family. Trust when I say it's not a thing. Can you get rich overnight? Yes, of course you can. We live in America. It's a capitalist country. But it's so much rewarding when you could put the time, the effort in to learn something that you can also teach your kids and your kids to teach their kids. And said you can't work tomorrow, you have something to fall back on because you were able to master something. And I think that's one thing that's so important now is like figuring out a skill, learning how to trade, learning how to start a business, learning how to get into private companies and just becoming a private investor if you want to, not even just buying on the stock market. Just learning a skill is what's really going to make you successful, not a quick flip. Being successful is not something that's just done overnight. You got to work for it. You got to make sure that you learn it, and you got to fall in love with it too.
Hmm. About to drop a 10. What is bomb? My boy talking.
It's true, bro. I mean, it's like one thing that gets me is that like on social media, and this is no shade to nobody out there, but when I make a post on just returns, and I don't post like my gains, I post percentages because I don't want people to see the dollar amount. The dollar amount does not matter. The only thing that matters is that I was in the right position at the right time and I made a percentage that made a difference. So that's why I only just post percentages. I don't want people to see the dollar amount because that's all they're going to focus on. But even with that, most people are just like, "Yo, what can I buy right now? Do I have enough? Should I did this? Is it gonna go? Is it gonna run up soon?" Like, it's like our mindset is not always in the right spot, and obviously it's hard to do that because everywhere you look, somebody always making money, that instant gratification. Um, just getting something right away after you try it out, and it's not the best way to go about it because if you were to get instantly gratified on everything, you'll never be successful. Most people would give up on everything that they do because it's so hard to get that type of return in anything.
Mhm. Absolutely, bro. I gotta second that, bro. And I feel like it comes down really to what we do in the core, why we do things, the education side of it. Because you feel me, everybody wants that instant gratification because I feel like they believe that's all it you need to do to get to where you want to be. They feel like wealth is built like this. And don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, like opportunities and wealth is fast, but it's fast after compounding years of work. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like a prime example, I talked to one of my guys. Shout out to Julio. Talked to one of my guys named Julio. He's a pretty, he real good investor. You know what I'm saying? Over 100K, doing great things, right? I talked to him. He said, "Yeah, man, it took me over 5 years to get to 100K, and
Mm.
then after that, it took me 3 months to make 60K." You see what I'm
See
saying?
that?
Like it's compound work, y'all. It doesn't happen overnight. It's just about being consistent and putting what you can in and sacrificing what you can to make sure you're putting in as much as possible. That's all it is, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all
Yeah,
it is, man.
the hardest part is the grind, and sometimes that may feel like it's the longest time to do it. But after that, the easiest part is being consistent.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? After you've been consistent so long and you struggle for so long, once you have that big hitter, like, all right, I'm at the point to where now it takes me like Julio did 60K in a couple few months. You know what I'm
Right? It's
saying? You know how
crazy.
hard that is to do? But he had to go through that pain first in order to get to that part. And that's the hardest part. Once you get through there though, once you get through that first, few years of just grinding, oh my God, it's gonna feel so rewarding.
So so rewarding, and we're living proof of it. You know, there was definitely times we're still not where we want to be yet, but hey, I can guarantee you we're better than when we were yesterday, the day before, the year before. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
So it's all about putting, feet on ground, yo. Feet on ground and keep moving step by step. Don't stop for nothing. When you stop, you gonna
Mhm.
flop. But if you flop, you won't get no guap. Head
There we go.
that.
Hey, I've been telling bro to drop some bars in here, man. Let's get it. Yo, Signature Wolf mixtape coming soon, family. Y'all tune in,
Where's
man.
where's Bob, man? It's going to the title gonna be "This is not financial advice." Oh God.
Yo, hey, maybe I better not steal that. Bro, it actually just done, bro. You just put that in the universe. Somebody try to take that one.
Nah, I'm about to private this video. Where's Bob?
Come on, what? This is not for the. That's the bar. Yeah, that's coming soon, man. Y'all tapped in.
Facts.
Yo, but nah, bro. I mean, like we said, bro. We here for y'all, family. If there's anything that you took out from this video, hit that like button, subscribe, follow us. Send it to more family or friends that could benefit from the information that we're giving out. Just want to keep this going, fam. Like we said, we want to make sure that all the information that we're giving out is accessible and digestible for you to, use it for yourself and your daily situation. So please let us know what y'all think. If you want to hear anything else, we'll go back to the drawing board. Just want to make sure that y'all getting what y'all need to get out of it. Because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of gatekeepers out there. And we don't want to be those gatekeepers at all. Because people gatekeep information from us.
Hmm. They do. And we're not here for that, y'all. So yeah, shout out to what Brother Wolf said, man. If y'all got anything, let us know in the comments what you want to hear, questions. If you want one-on-one connection between myself and Wolf, make sure you tap into the Discord and our Instagram bio. It's gonna be free. You can get in there, ask us questions. We send out our trades. We're here for y'all. Y'all just gotta take the opportunity.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ah, it's been a pleasure, man. Yeah, my
Yes,
guy.
Sirski.
You good?
Yeah, bro. We gone. We out of here, man.
Peace, family.
All right.